What's up everybody, Drew Wilkins with Swine and Bovine Barbecue, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to take leftover brisket and turn it into boudin. Let's get cooking. Leftover brisket, if you're anything like me, you have a lot of this stuff laying around. If you watched my first video that I ever posted to YouTube, I cooked 2 briskets for a tenderness test. Had a lot of brisket left over from that. This is one of them. This is actually the one I did not use the finger method for the tenderness test. So if you want to see that video, be sure and go back and watch it. But there's a lot of uses for leftover brisket: chili, tacos. Boudin's one of the things that I love making with it. I mean, it's Cajun food is something I absolutely love. And when you take vegetables and rice and Cajun seasoning and brisket and stuff it into a sausage, it's hard to beat that. So what we're gonna do today is show you how to make those links. Starting off, we're gonna just slice up this brisket. Gonna cube it up into a little smaller cubes so it'll fit through my meat grinder here. A little over 3 pounds of brisket here, going through the coarse die on the grinder. Let's go ahead and fire it up, put it in. Our brisket is ground up. Now we're gonna grill off 20 ounces of chicken liver. Shut this down, come back when they're done. I'm also gonna add a pouch with 6 cloves of garlic in it, a little olive oil as well. Let those get nice and toasty inside there, soften up a bit. Our liver is done cooking over some super hot coals. Gonna get this off, grind it up. Had our garlic on for about 10 minutes. It is nice and soft, so we're gonna put it through first, followed by the chicken livers. Our meat is ground up. Now let's get our veg ready, starting with 2 onions. 1 bell pepper. And 3 stalks of celery. Got a pot warming up over medium heat. Gonna go in with some butter. And that's all the butter I have. Unfortunately, I didn't check my fridge before I started doing this. So we're gonna go in with some olive oil as well. Butter is melted, so now we're gonna add in our veg. Gonna add some seasoning to the mix. I'm using Tony C's Cajun seasoning. Feel free to use whatever you like. Cook this down until the veggies are nice and soft. While our onion, celery, and bell pepper, also known as the Holy Trinity, cook down, we're gonna chop up some green onion. I thought 1 bunch would be enough, but we're gonna need 2. We're just using the green parts. The Holy Trinity is nice and softened. We're gonna go ahead and add that to our meat mixture. We are also gonna add in 3 cups of cooked white rice. The only thing that has seasoning on it at this point is the Holy Trinity as well as the brisket. So we're gonna go in with a pretty heavy helping hand of our Tony C's here and give all this a good mixture. Nice and mixed up. Now we're gonna add our green onion. So we've got everything mixed up. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. See how we did. We've been going basically by feel for seasoning, so let's see how we did. Pretty good. Needs a tiny bit more Tony C's, then we should be ready to go. Seasoning is dialed in now. I added a little bit more. However, we need some more rice. Usually the complaint for boudin is that there's way too little meat and way too much rice, but 3 cups wasn't enough for what we have here. So we're gonna do another 1.5 cups, see how that turns out. So I'm gonna cook that up, be right back, we'll add it in. Ended up cooking 3 more cups of rice just to be safe, but we're just gonna add in half of it right now. Roughly 1.5 cups of extra rice here. Gonna get some gloves on and we'll mix it up. Get in here, nice and mixed. That's looking better so far. And much like a normal sausage, you want this to get nice and tacky, kind of have it hold its shape. So we'll get it mixed up here. thinking we could maybe even use a little extra rice. Good thing I made more than just 1.5 cups. Let's give it a taste. That's good. I'm adding the rest of the rice. Hit it, re-season this as we've added quite a bit of rice. Give it a quick taste. I think we're there. Taste is solid. Got enough salt. Cajun flavor is there. Let's stuff it. All right, got some test links done, but the way I like to link, I do one at a time. We'll just slowly kind of build our links here, putting a little pressure on it, making sure the link gets nice and plump. And once it gets to your desired length, pinch it off. And I always go away first, then towards. That way I can remember which way I linked the sausage. That way I don't undo the link when I make the next link. So we went away on that one. Now we'll do the same process. Fill this thing up nice and tight. These are just 32mm hog casings. Then we'll pinch and go towards, because we started away. Always start away, the way I do it, then towards. Just easy enough to remember that way. Fill up the link. Away. One more here. And then towards. So we'll just keep on linking these up. I'll be back once they're done. Got our sausages all linked up. I saved some meat to make some boudin patties, but this is the sausage that we have. So I'm gonna get it on some wire racks, let it air dry in the refrigerator. It's not a necessary step, but I wanna cut these into individual links because I'll vac seal and freeze the majority of them. But I'm gonna let them dry off in the fridge overnight. Then we'll fire up the smoker, throw these on, cook them up, crisp up these pork casings, and then eat. Got our fire lit, a chunk of post oak on, so we're gonna throw this boudin right here, let it cook indirectly till that casing is nice and tight and crispy, then we'll come eat it. These PK cookers are really good little indirect convection style cookers. They've got 2 openings on the bottom, like you see these 2 on the top. They mimic that on the bottom, so I've got the bottom vent under the coals completely open, and then I've got this top vent over here completely open on the left side where the meat is. That way airflow comes up like this and out, essentially providing a little mini offset cooker. So gonna let these go 20-30 minutes. We'll come back when they're ready to eat. 25 minutes later, and these links are ready to eat. Gonna take them off, let them cool down for a bit, then we're gonna slice them up and dig in. Our boudin is off the pit and cooled off, but before we slice into it, let's just take a look at it. Turned out to be some beautiful links. There might not be something that is as unappetizing as the way boudin looks before it goes on versus the way it looks when it comes off. It is the color, the look was not very appealing when it goes onto the pit, but when it comes off, it sure does look good. So let's slice into this one and see how we did. There we go. You can see our meat, you can see our rice. Got a nice little crispy casing. Texture's good. All right, put a lot of time and effort into this. Let's eat it and see how it tastes. Alrighty, moment of truth. Let's see how we did. Cheers. It's delicious. If you've had jambalaya, it tastes a lot like jambalaya, but it's super, super good. There's the perfect amount of rice in here. It's not just jammed with rice like you get with a lot of boudin. It's got the Cajun flavors. It's got the Holy Trinity in there with some garlic, some fresh green onion. It's literally the best way I can probably describe it is like jambalaya in a sausage. It is incredibly good. This is one of my favorite things to do with brisket leftovers. Making sausage is one of my favorite things to do, just period. If you've seen my Instagram, you've probably figured that out by now. But like, it's just such a great use for leftover brisket. Vac seal it up, give it to people if you've got too much of it. I mean, the texture's good. It's just an incredible thing to eat. I love it. And one of the best things about it is if you hate doing the dishes that come with sausage, they're so much easier to do when you've got cooked ingredients that you're working with, cleanup probably takes half the time. So that's just another reason. If you love making sausage but hate the cleanup that comes along with it, make boudin. Use your leftover brisket. Half the cleanup time, much easier. So I appreciate you all watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. And please get out there and make some boudin, because it is extremely, extremely good. And I can't think of a better use for leftover brisket than boudin. Super cheap to make too. Rice, veggies, green onion, pork casings, easy peasy. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next one.